Hey family, I wanted to keep my word and do a part 2. I apologize. In the video I did, Spiritual Talk 102, I had started on, sharing a life experience that I had. It was my testimony, but I didn't finish it. I won't do that again. I will just save and wait till next time. But this right here is Spiritual Talk 103, Part 2. Well, let me say Spiritual Talk 102, Part 2. Let me just say that. All right. Much love to my butterflies out there, my awakened butterflies out there, my brothers and sisters in the spirit. I greet you all with love and light of the Most High God, source of all things, source within. Let's get with this message. It's pretty much part 2 of where I had left off at. Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Now I can say yes. I'm excited about this new path. Before, not so much. I couldn't see my way. I felt like I was in a dark tunnel and I was trying to find my way out. Like many of us, we're seeking until we're able to see the light. It is a process, but it is possible, family. It is possible. That's right. I'm back in my sanctuary, the garage. My baby girl, my little queen, she's doing her, and mommy's going to do me. Well, with this video, I'm not going to make it that long. May many of you have ears to hear. Okay, family, all I'm doing is sharing my truth, my testimony. How I once was lost, but now I'm found. Let me just say, I didn't get here overnight. Let me just say. But before I speak about my testimony, y'all know your sister don't be on here singing, okay? I have nothing to prove to no one. I'm not here to be, to feel a need to feel validated, okay? But we all have gifts and talents. Let me just say that. The light within me wants to shine. I want to sing this quick verse right here to give many of you something to think about. This was me before I got to this place. Don't look at me. Too much distraction, too much distraction. Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the thing that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? Do you get what you're hoping for? Do you look behind you with this no open door? What are you hoping for? Do you know? Do you know, family? Do you know? The life path that you are currently on, does it seem like you're moving in a path that's positive, or is it still chaos? Or is it still drama? As they say, drama for your mama. 2012 was when I left my job. I left my job in June, I think the 23rd or the 24th of 2012. I had my daughter August 21st of 2012. Okay? All I know is when I was on that job, I was so highly programmed in the matrix, in the box. That's all I knew. Okay? During this time, my spiritual sight was not awakened. During this time, I thought as a person would think in the box. Anything outside the box was Pandora, and that was a box I did, and that was a door that I did not want to open because that was the unknown. Okay, anything that was not of, as far as my upcoming, a religion, growing up in church, as a background, as a Baptist, shall I say, anything that did not line up to as far as my reality, as I saw things, okay, I didn't want no parts of. And as I stated, I was doing a lot of judging as well. Too much looking outside of myself. Too much wanted to feel validated, shall I say. I pray many of you have ears to hear. There's nothing wrong with operating in your gifts and talents. There's nothing wrong with that. According to the word, your gifts makes room for you, okay? One's gift makes room for them. And it's anything that you do that comes easy to you. Many of you want to know about your life path. Not so much your life path, but about your purpose. A lot of times your gifts are tied up in your purpose. Okay, it's anything that you're doing that comes easy to you. It takes little effort. You don't have to go to school to be schooled, to be trained when it comes to your gifts. Okay. As a child, I could listen to music and be able to play it on a piano. Well, certain music, especially do 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 do. I used to love that. But a lot of the hip hop songs, especially the little slow ballads, I can just listen to it and, sit there by a piano and just play that little ballad. Not all of it, but the intro and all of that. You can tell me nothing, okay? But it came easy to me. It's like an instinct. It just came easy to me. And singing with no problem. I ain't the best singer, but I am that I am. But being in that box way of thinking, I was still closed off to something that was far greater than myself. I started working at the hospital in September the 6th. 2000, and I had a position to where normally one must be certified. Let me just say that. But I had family members that worked in the hospital, and you know how it is when you know somebody that's on the inside, they can get you in. Okay, that's favor. Especially when you have good standards, working in that department, they can get you in. Okay, and so since I had family members that worked at the hospital. Okay, they worked with a company. I was able to get hired, okay. I didn't have any experience. I had to work my way from the bottom to the top. But once I learned my job, because I had a wonderful person who trained me, okay. She was real God-fearing. She was very, I'm not going to say religious, but she was very, I'm not going to say spiritual. She was, but to me she was more religious, shall I say. But anyway, she taught me a lot, and she was really speaking a lot of jewels to me. But back then it was going in one ear, not the other, like a lot of people, because they don't really want to hear it. Okay, this was someone who's older than me, older to be my mother. Okay, and I had love and much respect for her, but still I was younger. I was in my early 20s. Okay, you know, somebody in their early 20s, it's like people are talking to you, but it's like, you know, you hear them and you don't hear them, you know, as if they don't know, as if they never had any kind of experience, you know. But anyway, she taught me a lot and she trained me well. All right. She trained me very well. And I end up, you know, as time went by, before you know it, it was 2 years on the job, and then it was 5 years on the job. And I waited to the fifth year to finally get certified in the position that I was in. Once I became certified, oh, you really couldn't tell me anything, okay? And I felt good, you know, I felt good about myself, because there were people coming in that was already certified, you know. But I didn't care because I knew what I knew, you know, I knew the job. But make a long story short, I started getting the big head, you know. And I could just feel myself changing, but it wasn't really in a good way. You know, I got to where, you know, couldn't nobody really tell me anything, you know. Instead of me having a listening ear, because everybody thinks differently, you know, everybody has different opinions, you know, it pretty much in my head, it was my way or no way, you know. It's like I was hearing you and I wasn't hearing you. And then, you know, also, you know, I had favor as far as with the doctors and the nurses and, you know, other hospital staff. They had knew me, okay, they had knew me, and I got the big head, okay, I got the big head. Make a long story short, going on 12 years, all right. I don't know. It's like I started to doing a whole lot of reflecting on my life, okay, doing a whole lot of reflecting on my life. During this time, before it hit me, someone wanted, they used to work in my department. They wanted to be rehired, all right. And I remember I didn't really have like a bad experience with that person, but I knew their character, and to me, they were the type of person that I consider as a troublemaker. You know, someone who liked to start, you know, drama. And if that person was around, you know, they would create lack of harmony, okay? And we had a lot of peace on that job, okay? Because everybody pretty much got along with everybody. But this one particular person had a family member that worked there. And, you know, the fact that they had a family member that worked there, shall I say, they too had the big head. So anyway, they had got fired. And then, like I said, some years later, you know, they came back and they wanted to be rehired. And I had, you know, a good, close relationship with a boss of mine. And it wasn't just me, it was others that would state their opinion, because, you know, she was like, do anybody know who this person is? You know, come in the office and, you know, just, you know, give a little feedback on your perspective of this person's character. And I did. But I also said a lot of other things that as I look back on, I should not have said, shall I say. And my boss at the time, you know, really valued my opinion, okay? Because I was, out of all the people on that job, I was there the longest, okay? Let that sink in. Out of all the people that was in my department, I was one of those. I'll probably say it was about maybe three of us that was there the longest, okay? The other one, they pretty much in and out, 2 or 3 years, they in and out. But my staying power was, I was there the longest. But instead of me speak from a perspective where this is my experience as far as how they once, as far as how, you know, I was viewing them. This is how they was, as far as how they carried themselves in the department. And it wasn't really all that positive, to be honest with you, but I still, when I look back on it, I should have just put out there, you know, I work with this person, and to me, you know, blah, 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 you know, I feel like they weren't really a team player, but that was then and this is now, so give them a chance. Let me just say that. I feel that you should at least give them a chance to see have they changed, you know, especially, you know, during the times we're living in, people are out of work, you know, just give them a chance, you know, but Don't just take what I say face value, but this is my perspective on that person, okay? Because you can learn a lot from other people who have observed you, okay? Let me just say that. I feel like I could have worded things differently. That's the point I'm trying to make, instead of throwing a person under the bus, okay? So anyway, this is what I said behind closed doors and a host of other things, all right? You can imagine. After that, I think this was like around the 11th year I was on that job. But then eventually I got pregnant. And while I was pregnant, I was doing a lot of reflecting. And I was sitting there working. I was looking around. And I talked about this before. I was looking around and I was like, God, Most High God. I know Source, have a actual name. But, I was really, having that moment. Telepathically. I wasn't saying out loud, but telepathically, I was on the inside said, "Oh God, help me, Most High God." I feel like I'm at a crossroad. Surely there's more than just this. Surely there's more than just this. It's like I just felt myself in this rotation, in this programming of eat, sleep, wake up, go to work, come back home, leisure time, as they say, eat, sleep, and play, leisure time, watching program TVs, being reprogrammed, going back to sleep. It pretty much eat, sleep, play. And I felt very programmed, all right? I came to that acknowledgement that, I'm feeling programmed, all right? And even though I was enjoying what I was doing, to me, it seemed like something was missing, okay? It seemed like something was missing. And not only that, I knew that I had the big head on the job. I ended up leaving the job, okay? I had my daughter and I didn't come back, all right? I had my daughter and I didn't come back. And I was doing like little part-time jobs here and there. But I noticed once I stopped working, something happened. That hold that this corporation have on people, on the Most High God's church. Don't get me wrong. I know we have to work, okay? In order to be provided for, as far as, taking care of our needs being met. I get that, all right? But what I'm saying is, when we get programmed on this 9 to 5, on this, clocking in and clocking out, it has us so distracted. It's like your mind is cloudy. You can't think. You're not even really evaluating yourself. Surely you should know that something about you ain't right, but you're too busy being distracted due to the cares of this world, due to worrying about what people think about you, due to, this need to feel validated, all right, from your peers and people who are around you, as though you're not enough, as though you see no value in yourself. You just thrive off people validating you. During the times when I wasn't working, it's like that fog that was in my head started to lift. And I was also having a spiritual awakening. I didn't know it. I started to have dark night of the soul. Didn't know what none of this was. But remember, I asked, so shall I receive? I didn't know how I was going to receive it, but I did ask. So be mindful, family. When you're asking, you don't know how you're going to get the answers, but you will get them. Because I was seeking. Well, let me just say this. I wasn't seeking back then. I asked a question. There has to be more than just this. Notice what I asked Source. There has to be more than just this. And if it is, please reveal it to me. Okay, please reveal it to me. Because I wasn't feeling complete. I wasn't feeling whole. Let me just say that. Instead of me looking for validation from Source, I was looking for validation from man. okay? From man, from people. During the times I wasn't working, like I said, that brain fog left. And eventually, as each day went by, I started having a dark night of the soul. I started experiencing spiritual attacks. I spoke about it before. I'm not going to go into details. My spiritual sight was awakened. I didn't know what it was. It happened in the middle of the night. Okay? Many people have a good experience starting off. I didn't have a good experience starting off. Okay? I wasn't seeing angels all of a sudden. I wasn't seeing, good things. Well, actually, I did when I was in church. Let me just say that. But that's a whole nother story, but I talked about it before. This was during the time I was in church, and the church that I was in, it was spiritually dead, okay? It was programming too, the same thing every Sunday, but the Most High God got me out of that church because I started seeing what looked like light beings, that was appearing in the church, and I felt like there was a sign that I need to get out of this church because I knew the source was bigger. Let me just say that. And something wanted me to get out of that box. I'm so glad that I did, because 3 years later, the church folded. But anyway, my spiritual sight awakened in the middle of the night. I started seeing shadow beings. I started being sensitive to energy. The closer they got to me, they would paralyze me and I would be attacked. Okay, I didn't know what this was. And the reason I was seeing, you would see them, but the reason they were able to get close to me because I was low vibrational. Okay, the reason I was able to be attacked was because I was low vibrational. Had I been high vibrational, okay, I would have saw them, yeah, but they were no parts of my light. That's the difference. I could look at them and see them with love, and they would just fade out. Cause they weren't some part of my light. But anyway, I started to see, within the unseen, okay, and I started doing some research. I'm like, what is this, And then from there, things just took off. But when I was on that job, I wasn't humbled. The Most High God will humble you. Oh, you can be so high. You can be so high. But if you're not right on the inside, instead of speaking life and you're speaking death over people, like I said, it's one attention. It's your intentions as far as what coming out of your mouth and your intentions while you're speaking it. It's a boomerang effect. You thinking it's hurting them, but that boomerang effect curves and it comes back at you. And whoa, you don't see it coming. It comes when you think not. But then when you're having these experiences, these attacks, and you're going through your dark hour, you can reflect, can't you? You're like, why am I going through this? What did I do? Did somebody put a hex on me? Why am I going through this? How about you reflect on your life? How about you go back down memory lanes and think about how you carried yourself, how you treated others, how speaking death over others. How about you think of that? How about you reflect on that? You ain't the only one. I've done it before too. But you know what? You reap what you thus sow. That's why I tell many of you, it's okay to get mad, but don't stay mad. That's mastering yourself. That's mastering this flesh. It's okay to get mad, but don't stay mad. Because you're hurting yourself. You're not hurting nobody else. Oh, you're thinking negative thoughts towards others. That's energy. And you can manifest with that energy. It boomerang. It does this and that what you set out to do, you're doing it to yourself. Because we are one. We're one in the spirit. We are all energy. When you think of love, that's what's going to benefit you. You're speaking it to others. You're thinking positive, all right? Putting it out to the universe towards others. It comes back to you. 10-fold, 100-fold. It comes back in the way you think not, but it comes back to you. I want good things to come back my way. I can't afford to be hating on nobody. I can't afford to be just bad mouthing my brothers and sisters. Because the Most High God still loves them. And they can change. People can change. We all been in a state of not being in our heart space. We've all been in a state of thinking negative. We've all been in a state of talking about people. But then we can humble ourselves. We can repent. We can humble ourselves and get back on track. Renewing our mind. One must renew their mind. As a man thinketh, so is he. One must renew our minds, okay? And get in your heart space and change. But it's a matter of choice. Can nobody make you do nothing you don't want to do? Or could nobody make me do anything I didn't want to do? I had to change for current. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad I'm walking the path of love. This path that I'm on, darkness wants no part of. It's a narrow path. It can be a lonely path. Yes, it can be a lonely path. Because see, that wide path, that's the fun path. That's the path where everybody's like, oh, hey, I've been there. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And people up there on the stage doing their thing and they're feeding off of your energy. You're giving them your energy. But it's all good. Oh, you just waving it. Hey, oh, hey, I've been there. And you can feel the energy, can you? When you're surrounded by a whole lot of people and everybody's just in that celebrating mood, you can feel the energy. You can feel it. So imagine if people are negative and you feeling that energy. It doesn't feel good, doesn't it? And little do the crowd know all we're doing is giving our energy. We're giving our energy away. And the ones on the stage, they're the one that's feeding off of it, because the more you're cheering for them, boy, they really getting down, aren't they? They are getting down, boy. And that's not a bad thing. I'm just trying to make a point when it comes to energy, how we need to be careful of our thoughts. Because when we are negative and we're thinking negative thoughts and intention towards others, it will boomerang and come back at you. And when I'm feeling some type of way, I'm having a good day, and all of a sudden I'm just feeling some type of way, I'm like, whoa, 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 these are my thoughts. Especially like a negative thought might come over me, and I might think about somebody and the thought's not positive. I say, whoa, 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 these are not my thoughts. I do not receive these thoughts. I will not entertain these thoughts. I counsel these thoughts. I send these thoughts back from where they came from. Sometimes I say tenfold or 100-fold, but I send it back. I do not agree with these thoughts. I denounce these thoughts, and I will not entertain them. I send them back. And you know what? That negative thought fades away. Because for one thing, I'm not going to entertain it to make it grow. Okay? And get inside of me and taint me. No. No, ma'am. No, sir. And people can. Okay? They can throw these thoughts towards you in a negative way. But little do they know. They think they're doing something, but little do they know. It's a boomerang effect. Especially if that person have the knowledge, okay? Especially if that person is operating in power and sound mind, and they know how to operate in the spirit, they'll send it right back at you. So it's best to think of love, set your intention to think of love towards people, so when they're feeling it, that boomerang is coming right back at you in ways you think not. You're sending out love. You're carrying yourself as love. You're sowing seeds of love. It comes back to you in ways you think not. The Most High God is so good. I will be back with another video in a week. I just wanted to do a part 2 to let you know that your sister had to humble herself. Because the Most High God was not playing with me. And the path that I was going on, it would not have been a good path. It would not have been a good path. I still would have been in the box. I still would have been thinking negative. And the things I know now, I would not have known then. The things that I know now, I would not have known then. I still would have been in that box. I am that I am. Keep shining, family. Peace and love to you all. Remember, pray and meditate. That's the key. That's the key. When you're in meditation, you receive downloads. When you're in meditation, you're spending time with Source. According to the word, he said, worship me in spirit and in truth. You need to go within yourself, okay? Even though Source is everywhere, go within your closet and worship Source in spirit and in truth. And find out how Source sees you, okay? Don't worry about how I see you. Find out how Source sees you. Don't worry about how people outside of you see you. Find out how Source sees you. Peace and love to you. Bye for now.